Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to be doing the weekly for the sign of Cancer. Alright, Cancers, it's September 29th to October 5th. And you guys show me so much love. You always give me so many views for my small little channel, so I appreciate it. Here we go, let's get right into it. Chemistry. Beautiful. And romantic feelings. And love yourself first. Alright, so a lot of these cards have come out already for the weekly. Certainly love yourself first and chemistry have. So let's go ahead and get your animal spirits out and see what kind of animal spirits you're working with this week. Animal spirits can come in the form of events, characters, people come into our lives at certain times to support us, or people we may have a certain important dynamic with. It can also resonate with certain energies that we are sort of drawing upon to get through a particular scenario as well. So whatever the case may be, just take what applies to you and just disregard the rest. Of course, this reading isn't going to apply to every Cancer out there. We already know that. And it is a timestamp reading, so you can go in the description and jump ahead. Elephant. Beautiful. Fire energy. Beaver. Water energy. And the golden egg. Alchemical symbol for ether at the top of that card, associated with the fifth chakra, the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra. Very, very beautiful. All right, so the elephant. What is the elephant? The elephant is, of course, associated with the great god Ganesh in Hindu mythology. We're talking about the bringer of the bringer of abundance, of blessings, of fortune. Ganesh, of course, is associated with a lot of wealth, but also it is the great breaker of obstacles in a way, the great mover of obstacles. The elephant is one of the highest cards for being an immovable, unstoppable force. Elephant energy comes in to clear the way for you, to remove obstacles. Sometimes the path you have to walk, the elephant will actually put obstacles in your way to force you down a particular path, right? To force you down a path that you're meant to walk down. So this is really strong, beautiful, strong energy. Definitely means that there are blessings in the form of money and emotional well-being coming in. Now the beaver, of course, is the next one. That's the water energy, animal spirit. And the beaver is really beautiful energy. A lot of people love being around the beaver. It is very, very hardworking animal. It's extremely loyal, extremely resourceful, tireless. The beaver just works and works and works and works and works away. It just doesn't stop. And of course, the beaver personality, with the beaver personality, family always comes first. The beaver personality is a very welcome sight a lot of times because he brings with him a good-natured, dependable sense of resourcefulness. Is very much. It's a very loving creature. It's a very enthusiastic creature. And it provides a home with a lot of financial stability and emotional stability. This is what the beaver does. It creates a home that supports the family through whatever trials and tribulations they may be going through. Now, usually the beaver doesn't necessarily initiate a project, but it will finish the project, and it will continue to work on and on and on until the task at hand is completed, even if it's a long-term task. And so this kind of tireless loyalty is really, really appreciated, especially in a family. The next card we have is the golden egg. And the golden egg, as I said, is associated with the fourth chakra, which is the heart chakra. And the golden egg, of course, talks about messages of the heart, romantic feelings, expressing your desire, to connect with somebody, right? The magical essence of the egg, though, needs warmth, right? To be able to bring out this this beautiful energy, warmth is required. And so you can't open up your heart chakra in the face of coldness, in the face of cruelty, or in the face of someone, you know, I mean, of course, those are times perhaps when it's needed, but when we're not talking about, you know, we're talking about opening up your own heart and nourishing your own fourth chakra, right? Your own heart chakra, and that requires warmth, right? That requires loving. It requires finding a deep and restful ease in yourself so that you can allow your heart to open up and express itself, right? When we're anxious, when we're afraid, when we're in situations where we meet with people who are negative, pessimistic, off-putting, all of these things will close up your heart chakra oftentimes. It doesn't help to nourish that. And so we're talking about making sure that you're in the right space as well, that you're engaging with the right type of people, so that you can be comfortable with opening up. You can be comfortable with allowing a little bit of vulnerability to emerge, right? Very, very beautiful, very strong energy. And let's go ahead and get right into your forecast for the week, Cancer. We have 5 to 8 3-card spreads we're going to pull out. And as always, just take what resonates with you. You can go back and look at some of the forecasts in the description. They're time-stamped. And you know, these are tarot, weekly tarot in love, life, and career. It's a general reading. So although we pull romance angel messages to see what you're dealing with this week in terms of your relationships, and of course the animal spirits give us a lot of insight into what kind of energy is around you this week, these forecasts can be in all areas of life. All right, so let's get right into it. Magician straight out, star energy, wow. And lovers, woo. 3 major arcana. Some of you this week is a very strong destiny week. Things are almost seem to be happening out of your kind of control in a way. I'm going to say this is definitely indicative of elephant energy, because whenever you have a predominance of major arcana, it just reminds us that things are happening that are really sort of divinely led, oftentimes, perhaps fated, destined. In any case, the magician coming in because right now you're feeling very, very comfortable in your skin. You're able to accomplish a lot with a lot of ease. You're employing all sides of yourself, all your skills in all areas, and you're really kind of going through life right now in a very adept way, right? Certainly with the elephant energy coming in, obstacles are really easy for you to sort of get over or go around, right? Or find a solution to. And so you're just kind of feeling like you are being very masterful, right? That you've learned a certain mastery of life, especially in at least your life, right? We can only be the masters of our own life. And so things are coming to you very easily. Now, the magician also reminds us that when things don't work out, not to become arrogant or obstinate, but to go back and to try again, right? Just because things do come easily to us, and there may be talents and skills that you have that allow you to go through life in certain situations with a little bit more ease than others, that doesn't mean that you will not find challenges. Now, with the star energy being in as well, you're also very much right now paying attention to every move you make to ensure that you move closer and closer to your ultimate dream or ambition. Some of you, that dream or ambition involves a love connection. It involves a soulmate connection, right? Because the lovers is coming in. So for some of you, this is very much a week of moving down your path, being in your skin and working well with your talents, and bringing in a very strong love connection. Of course, lovers is associated with Gemini, and star is associated with Aquarius. Okay, and so of course some of you may be dealing with either or, but that's really irrelevant in terms of knowing who you're dealing with, because of course we don't know their entire natal chart, which is really what's important. But more than anything, this week you are really you're really on your life's path doing what you are supposed to be doing, and it will ultimately lead towards a very strong soulmate connection. 8 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, and the Hanged Man. So some of you are really working very hard right now. You're putting your nose to the grindstone. You realize you're having to be very disciplined to get what you want, certainly with regard to your career and your level of abundance, right? And so you're working hard. You're putting your nose to the grindstone. But there's a sense of feeling that you're still quite alone, right? You're still kind of that kind of love connection is eluding you, right? And so for some of you Cancers out there, you are feeling a little bit stuck right now. You're not really sure how to move forward, right? I think that for some of you, you may have been working for a long time on your own sort of survival, your own livelihood, but now you're starting to wake up to the fact that you really don't, is it enough? You know what I mean? Is what you're achieving now really enough? And I think for some of you, you're waking up to the fact that you may have been stuck in a certain holding pattern with regard to just diving into work because maybe it was easy for you, right? But it's time now to sort of open your heart to a new possibility, perhaps be a little bit more nurturing. Love yourself, right? But love yourself in other ways. Sometimes some of us only know how to love ourselves in a material way, but there are other ways that we can love ourselves, and certainly other ways we can nurture ourselves that will bring in a strong love connection. Hermit energy, Virgo, Queen of Swords, and the World. So some of you have been really living a solitary existence for a while. You may not have had any relationships. You may not have been going out and socializing. It's been really kind of just a lifestyle perhaps, or a life that you've been living, a stage of your life that you've been living that's been very solitary. It's been alone, and part of it you've been using to really work on yourself. But I think lately you're realizing that perhaps you want more. Perhaps you're ready to now come back into the fray, come back into your social group. The Queen of Swords is coming in. Now, I think this is going to be somebody, there may be somebody in your life who comes in who really kind of holds you to account in the sense that, they may know you, they may be an old friend, and they're saying, listen, Cancer, I know you, right? And I know that you're alone time, but this is enough. Enough is enough. Why are you hiding? Are you sure? Is this really because of course the Hermit indicates a spiritual path that we've chosen to find ourselves, but sometimes it can just indicate being reclusive, tying ourselves off from the rest of the world, right? And so this Queen of Swords kind of comes in to shake you up and wake you up and say, look, Cancer, it's time to come back into the world. It's time to be a part of the world again. It's time to, whatever path you've been on and whatever lessons you've learned, it's time to employ them here, And this is certainly, this Queen of Swords is going to be, someone who has a great deal of affection for you and caring from you, but this person is certainly going to be also a very strong-willed person, not one to sort of they may be even a bit of a tough love type of individual, right? But there is love there. There is caring there. And I think after this person comes in, you have your discussion. Perhaps they may even get you to open up your heart a bit more. You begin to realize where you are in your life. And I think you have a certain epiphany about the next stage in your life as a result of this conversation. 3 of Cups, 9 of Cups, and Page of Wands. So some of you are indeed having a lot of fun. You're socializing with your friends, your like-minded group of individuals, your tribe or nation, what have you. 3 of Cups. 3 is the number for bonding and loyalty, but it's also the number for patience. But in 3 of Cups, we talk about, bonding with your group of friends, bonding with your like-minded social scene, right? People that make you feel good, that understand you and that you understand. And so there's been a lot of joviality and partying, but your wish is to have a connection. I think that for some of you, you're kind of out partying and you're in the party, but you're almost like that kind of tortured character you sometimes see in a movie. They may be out at the party, but they feel completely alone, right? And so, yeah, even though you're enjoying yourself, you're realizing that your true wish, your desire to have that long-term commitment, connection with somebody is what's really eluding you, right? And so you begin to realize that. I think for some of you, you may not have realized that until now. You start to realize that. And so this week, it could be you have an opportunity coming in that kind of sparks your creativity. There may be a chance meeting with somebody that kind of sparks your passion. Something happens this week that's going to impact all of this, right? And it comes in the form of a page of wands. So again, this could be a meeting, an encounter. It could be just a self-realization that you suddenly have all of this sort of creative energy. Whatever the case may be, this page of wands brings with it a fieriness and an ambition that impacts this whole scenario here. It could even be that this is the start of a new project or a new endeavor that ultimately leads you to the fulfillment of this wish, which is to be with someone. Two of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, and Ten of Swords. All right. So some of you are juggling a lot of different, you're juggling different jobs. You're juggling different avenues of having to work and sustain yourself. Some of you may be juggling 2 households, okay? You may be having to be responsible for 2 places. You may have multiple children, like multiple baby daddies, baby mamas, whatever the case may be. But you have a lot of responsibilities that you're juggling right now. And I want to say that with this Queen of Wands coming in, she's very tough. She can almost take anything that life throws at her. And I want to say that you're really kind of resonating with that now. You're feeling like, this is a really difficult time. I'm really having to deal with a lot of added stress and pressure and responsibilities, but I can handle it, right? I can handle it, you know, and you kind of push through. The Queen of Wands has this kind of momentum and energy to really push through a really difficult situation, even when you thought you didn't have it in you. And if you can hold on to this energy, whatever this difficult situation is that you've been in comes to an end here with the Ten of Swords. And I believe that this situation, or perhaps this stage in your life, right, which is now coming to an end, it's one of the reasons why you have had to juggle so many responsibilities here. Could be a very difficult stage in life, you know. An example could be that you may have, here's an example of this dynamic. Ten of Wands could be that you've been taking care of a relative who's been very poorly with their health and they needed somebody to take care of them. And that's not the Ten of Swords, but the process of taking care of them has been very demoralizing in the sense that you've had to give up your own ambitions. You've had to give up your own dreams. You may have had to juggle 2 jobs to care for this person. And so there's been a lot of trials and tribulations along the way that your ego has had to take, because this is the death of an ego, that your ego has had to take as a result of this stage in your life. And the impact of it is, like I said, perhaps having to take 2 jobs, perhaps having to juggle your family and this relative. This is a broad example of what I'm talking about, but some of you may resonate with this energy, right? But when Ten of Swords comes in, it's the end, and it could be that whatever that burden or that stage or that part of your life is comes to an end, and you're reborn again. You come to another layer of the Queen of Wands, another level of self-realization. A whole new ego now rises out of the death of the old one to support you going forward, because the old ego no longer applies to who you are. You've learned too much. You've expanded your understanding too much, and so the old ego can't contain that, and so you need a new one now. This is the last spread, guys. Yeah, this is really, really beautiful, strong energy for some of you folks out there, Cancer, who have really been struggling lately. I'm really dealing with a lot of these responsibilities, but like I say, it's very much coming to an end, and out of it, you come to a whole, it's like another level of Queen of Wands with another expanded ego. And I think you're also going to get a break from having to juggle all of this over here. All right, guys, this is it. This is your September 29th to October 5th, excuse me, September 29th to October 5th weekly reading for Cancer. I hope it did resonate with you, at least in part. And if it did, it'd be great if you could subscribe to my channel. All of that helps me grow. If you could like the video or share the video on your social media. But for right now, I'm just going to say, Cancer, I love you. I love all the support, and I appreciate all the support you guys always give me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week for next week's weeklies. Bye-bye.